people today. They could spend half their lives over 50. That's a lot of living. So it helps to have a wise friend and fierce defender in your corner. A friend like AARP. So your health lives longer.
This is just slow-mo karate?
Just slow-mo karate.
Your money lives longer.
I just bought that.
I just sold that.
And your happiness lives longer. That's why the younger you are, the more you need AARP. Join today.
Hello, my name is Teresa Collins, and I am an Executive Council member for AARP Illinois. AARP, a nonprofit, nonpartisan member organization, has been working to promote the health and well-being of older Americans for more than 60 years. AARP Illinois is proud to represent all those who are 50 plus in Illinois and our 1.7 million members. And we thank you for the opportunity to be your wise friend and fierce defender. Our mission is to enhance the quality of life for all as we age, leading positive social change and delivering value to members through advocacy, service, and information. At AARP, we know that staying fit is one of the pillars of healthy living, and we want to help you on your fitness journey. Physical activity can boost memory, improve thinking, and even lower dementia risk. It's not too late to start. AARP is proud to offer today's virtual event to start or continue you on your fitness journey. Have a wonderful class and enjoy.
Hello and welcome. I'm Diane Butera, and this is your Happy Hands, Happy Feet webinar. Thank you so much to AARP Illinois, to Teresa Jones, that I get to have this opportunity to share this information with you. And I love that when I teach this, I also get to have some happy hands and happy feet. So it's a really nice break for me. We are going to be doing a lot together. There is some information, and please don't worry about writing things down. Just enjoy the webinar. This is going to be a webinar that you can watch over and over again. So if you miss something, you can always review it. Maybe jot down the time of the webinar. So if you need to refer back to something, you know right where to go to find it. So don't worry about taking notes. You will need a few props, and these are pretty important. If you don't have them, then what you'll do is you'll improvise, or you'll come back to this when you have the right props. So the first prop is your pinky ball. It says you will need a pinky ball. The pinky ball is a little bit smaller than a tennis ball, and it's definitely more different kind of density to it. If you don't have one today and you want to participate, maybe you've got a tennis ball or a dog toy, or I'll just show you, you can also just use your hands to do some of the manipulations that we're going to be doing. So for instance, when we're squeezing the pinky ball, maybe you grab a rolled up socks that you squeeze, or a water bottle. You can use your other hand to massage. This is really good. Then I'd like you to have a strap. A strap could be a belt, it could be a scarf, it could be an official yoga strap, but a strap is good. And then we're going to do something called gravity juice. And gravity juice, all it means is, we have to align with gravity. We have to walk, we have to be with gravity. And so the juice part is just some oil. Typically, people like to use either a massage oil, or sesame oil is really good. Non-scented, non-toasted, just regular sesame oil. I didn't have any regular sesame oil, so I used vitamin E oil, just a little bit, with some olive oil. I think that'll be good enough. And then you want a towel, because it might get a little messy, because you're going to give yourself a really nice foot massage. Lovely. All right, so those are your props today. Your pinky ball, your strap, your towel, and your oil. All right. Okay, so what's going to be happening today? Here is our agenda. I'm going to tell you a little bit about me, why this topic interests me, where I started with this topic, where I am today. I'm going to show you a video of fascia. It takes about 4 minutes, but I think it's well worth it. You hear fascia, you hear things like plantar fasciitis or people talking about, oh yeah, I need to do foam rolling for my fascia. But what exactly is fascia? I have this beautiful YouTube video that I think is just nice. It condenses it. It's not too much, not too much information. To me, it's just the right amount so you get an idea of what your fascia is. Fascia wraps all around your body, around your muscles. It's so important. Used to be that when they did the autopsies and the dissections, they would lift the fascia out, throw it away. We don't need this. And now they're quite interested in fascia. I'll do a little bit of anatomy of your hands and feet. We're not going to dive too deep with that. Talking a little bit about aches and pains of the hands and feet. Then the fun part, we're going to use the pinky ball. That's why you have to have this, and do some therapeutic movement, both on the hands and feet. I will show you not just how to use the pinky ball, but there's some things that you could do on a daily basis, particularly if you're prone to plantar fasciitis. I have to make a mental note to show you guys about scraping because I know sometimes I forget to talk about that. So if I forget, scraping, gua sha, scraping. So if I forget, I need that reminder. But oh, we're not live anyway. I will try to show up when the recording happens so that you can ask me questions, but you get a chance to email me. All right. Then we'll talk about foot care. So important. So important. And especially if you can't reach your toes, you got to go to a professional and have good foot care, or a friend or a relative. And Q&A, you can put your questions in there and I'll go back and look at it after the recording airs, and I'll go back in and put some answers, hopefully answers for you. Okay, so Ben is my trusted videographer here. He's running the show. He knows what he's doing here. He's going to spotlight me on this, talk to you a little bit about why I teach this topic and why it's so important. Okay, so I'm going to tell you a story. I love to tell my stories, right? And those of you that have been coming to my webinars know I like to tell the story about how I got here. So this one's a little different. This one about, how old was I? I was probably 40 at the most. And I started having problems with my feet. And I thought, wow, why is this happening? I would get out of bed in the morning, and the minute my feet touched the floor, they would cramp up. I would hobble. I was very uncomfortable. I didn't understand because I take good care of my feet. I do lots of movement and exercise. And so I was really concerned. So I started down that road of going to see professionals, going to see the orthopedist. And they made me some very expensive orthotics. And they also had me, the doctor also asked me to sleep in something that was kind of like a cast, so that it would hold my foot like this, because he said what was happening is my foot was curling in. So then when I went to step, it was painful to stretch my foot out. So to me, that's a lot about fascia. And now that I know what I know, I would approach this much differently. But thankfully, I don't have the problem anymore.
As I said, none of that helped, but I wandered into a yoga class. And in a yoga class, there's a lot of cueing for your feet. How to have active feet, how to stand, how to have good posture, how to have good ankle mobility. And it was kind of crazy. After a few weeks, I didn't have that foot pain anymore, and it's never come back. Now, I have had a couple of incidents of plantar fasciitis, but I've also found some amazing tools for that. So we're going to talk about that later. All right. So that's what got me interested in how to take care of my feet, using yoga, having active feet, having good ankle mobility, learning how to do a technique called gua sha, G-U-A-S-H-A. That's great for plantar fasciitis. Understanding how everything's related, understanding fascia. I'm really excited to show you that video. And understanding how the fascia in my feet can create some restrictions if there's kinks or tightness in that fascia. So that's why we use that wonderful pinky ball. Foot massages are amazing. I'm going to teach you how to do your own, but if you've got someone who wants to participate, that's even better, right? Okay, all right, so we're going to move on to that next slide here. And remember I said I wanted to talk to you a bit about fascia, and I feel like this video does a better job than I can of explaining fascia to you. So it lasts about 4 minutes, but I think it's well worth it. So we're going to go ahead and hit play, and you get to watch.
Dr. Jim Hoven from Ramos Law and your host of Health Matters. Today, we're going to talk about the fascial system, and you may not know what that is yet, but you will, and it's important because it connects all the other systems of the body together. And not only that, that's going to be our introduction into the world of connecting the fascial system with the nervous system. So sit back, enjoy, and let's talk fascia. Have you ever wondered what system tends to tie all other systems together? Or maybe put another way, how does all this stuff work together? We've got muscles, we've got joints, we've got organs and blood vessels and nerves, and all of these things can't possibly work independently. That's a great point, because in fact they don't. There's a system that runs through those that allows them all to connect and network with each other and even sends messages to the brain. And that system is called the fascial system. Now, the fascial system, if you were to think about it, looks like kind of like a very thin white web that is all around your body. It goes through all the organs and around all the tissues. It connects muscles and nerves go through it. Everything is wrapped into this system of slings and tissue called the fascial system. Now, there's a guy named Thomas Myers, and it's brilliant researcher and clinician. And he talks about and has actually dissected, in other words, taken cadavers and follow these fascial system lines all the way through the body. And so what we know about the fascial system is that they typically start on one end of the body and work their way all the way to the other. So there's a fascial line that goes in the front from our toes all the way up the front of our body, in front of our neck, around our side, and to the top of our head. And then there's one that's on the back of the body that does the same thing. There's also a fascial line that goes up the side of the body all the way to the top. And then there's one that's in the deep core on the front, and then that goes from shoulder all the way down to glute and into the hip on the back side. So they cross over. So it's a very complicated system, but it allows us to move throughout our entire plane of existence. Everything we do is because our fascial system supports that movement. Now, here's the interesting thing. The fascial system has a direct connection to the brain. When we put pressure anywhere on the system lines, whether it be a side line, a front line, a back line, there's messages that go to the brain. And the reason that's important is because the signals that the brain receives from that system, the brain then interprets and sends back down the appropriate response signal. For example, if I were to just stand and try to touch my toes right now, if I couldn't get all the way to my toes because I'm unflexible, a lot of us are going to think, oh, that's a hamstring, a tight hamstring issue. But in fact, I could show you, and you might want to even try this at home. If you try to touch your toes and you can't get there, or you're really stuck, try taking a golf ball, a tennis ball, a lacrosse ball, and put it under the arch of your foot and just roll that arch with a pressure that's somewhere between 4 and 6, that you feel 4 and 6, and just do that for about a minute or so. Then go to the other arch, roll for a minute or so, and retry that same forward reach. And you may very well find that you actually get further toward the ground. Now, when you do that, you're not loosening up your hamstrings, you're not changing anything in the system other than that you're affecting that back line that starts at the bottom of the foot. And the cool thing about that is when you affect the line in one place, you affect it along the entire line of the body. That's so interesting because when you're going to your treatment, if you've been injured and you're going to one of your providers and they're working on your body and you say, well, it's my neck that hurts. Why are you working on my back? Or why are you checking out my pec over here? It's because these lines cross and they work in unison as a team. And so if you notice why they might be working somewhere opposite of where you're at, it could be for very, very specific therapeutic reasons. So I just wanted to bring that to your attention, that when you're going for care, make sure that if you don't know that you ask, but if you just happen to go like, I'm not sure why they're doing what they're doing, there's a very real possibility that the provider, even if they don't understand what they're doing, they're working with the fascial system to allow you to heal better and faster. Now, that's a quick review of the fascial system, and I know that you might have a ton of questions. Feel free to reach out to me. It's jim@ramoslaw.com, and I'll certainly answer the questions to the best that I can. But remember, love your fascial system, do stretches, do flexibility, do little pressure points every single day, and it will talk to your brain, help your brain make your body feel better, and I think it'll help you enjoy a higher level of health. So until next time, when we talk about this in further depth, remember, your health matters.
All right, we'll come back to me now. Thanks, Jim. I feel like he does a much better job than I could of talking fast and summarizing what the fascial system is. All right, Ben, you can go ahead, spotlight me for a second. I'm going to talk a little bit about that video we just watched. All right, so he mentioned that you could use a golf ball or a lacrosse ball. I really don't recommend doing that. I told a friend to do that once. She did it watching TV, did it for half an hour, and fractured her foot. So I'm super cautious now. I prefer you not use a golf ball and be really careful for how long you do it. And if you're interested in doing that little pre-test, post-test thing, you could do a forward bend now, and then we're going to do some fascial work on our feet so you can see if there's any difference after we do that fascial work. All right. And I want to comment one more thing that he said in that video. He talked about how there is a line that crosses from here and it goes over to your hip. It goes at a diagonal. So that means that, let's say that your right knee is hurting. You've got pain in your right knee. Sometimes working with the fascia up here, the left shoulder, remember, different type of fascial line, can help with the knee on the opposite side. So it's quite interesting there. It's one of the things that I really appreciate about doing a lot of therapeutic movement, yoga poses, Pilates, because it really does work on fascial lines, even though we don't talk about that when I'm teaching that. I teach yoga and Pilates, I teach functional movement, I teach mindful movement. I don't talk about that, but embedded in the activities, the movement that I have you doing is working with your fascial line, all right? So it's kind of an added bonus. In fact, it's probably one of the most important parts of doing those type of movements, but I don't think fascia is really understood that as well as it could be. So maybe that's why people leading the classes or working with you don't talk about it, but it is very, very important. Okay, so let's move ahead. So coming to our next slide, the hand. We're going to be working with the hands before we do the feet. So here you can see that there is a lot of fascia in your hand, shows the palm of your hand. And there's a lot of delicate structures in the hand, a lot of fine bones in there. And this slide shows the fascia. And you can look closely, you can see a little bit more with the tendons. Okay, and next slide. So there are a number of things that can cause aches and pains in the hand. The most common ones, one is trigger finger. Unfortunately, I've had 2 of the 4 here. Trigger finger, so I had it in my thumb. So you can see I have a hitchhiker's thumb, but I got trigger finger in my thumb, so it was stuck. It was stuck. I can't even do it because I had such severe trigger finger, but it was stuck. And it wouldn't bend backwards. So I'd have to massage it because it, kind of hurt. And then I could do this. So, but I find that if I take care of my hands, I only have to have that injection once every year and a half. Of course, the hand person wants me to have surgery, but I'm kind of thinking if I just keep really working with my hands, doing my pinky ball, maybe I can stave off another episode of that trigger finger. Then, of course, carpal tunnel, that's repetitive movement, and people often end up, they do a lot of keyboarding or, maybe a plumber doing the wrench thing or tennis players. There's a lot of different activities that would cause carpal tunnel syndrome. And, of course, arthritis, which is inflammation, sometimes occurs because we have a compromised immune system, or it comes with aging, sometimes, not always. And the last one is Dupuytren's disease. It's an interesting one. We don't know what causes it and we don't know how to fix it, but it does impact the tendons on your hands. It's also something that I have. So you can see the difference between my 2 fingers. I can't straighten this one over here. I only have it in this pinky finger, but it causes some real tightness there. And people with severe Dupuytren's, their fingers curl in and they can't straighten them at all. So yeah, so I am on my way, and in the next month I'm going to see specialists to see if they've come up with anything to help with Dupuytren's. But just in case that's something that you are experiencing, it's not necessarily arthritis, and it's good to see a specialist. All right, let's move ahead. Oh, we're going to do the pinky ball for our hands, and we'll do a little bit more. It won't just be the pinky ball. So again, if you do not happen to have a pinky ball, or maybe you can find a tennis ball or a dog toy. If you don't have that either, then I want you just to use your other hand to massage and to do some movement as much as you can with your hands, okay? All right, so let's start with the pinky ball. Ben's gonna spotlight me. And I've got my pinky ball here, and I have a block here just because it's easier for me to, I don't have a table close enough to me so that I can show you what I'm doing with the ball. And I have this block right here. You could get one too if you'd like. All right, so let's all put the pinky ball into our left hand. I'm mirroring you here, and give it a really big squeeze. Squeeze as hard as you can. Squeeze even harder. Grip strength is so important for our well-being. I'm working with the forearm here. You're squeezing open and squeeze again as much as you can. It's a good thing to do every day. Work with your grip strength. I don't know if you've discovered this, but I believe they're making those jar lids tighter, especially the ones on the little white caps where you really have to turn it one way and then the other, and then to get it open. Those are tricky. All right, so here you are with your pinky ball. And if I move my hand around, it's mostly so you can see different positioning, but you don't need to do that. I'll tell you when you have to move it. All right, so again, if you don't have your pinky ball, just massage with your other hand, or maybe you can find something to makeshift. Open your palm to the ceiling and press your thumb into the pinky ball. And I'm just moving so you can see. Press really hard, press even harder. Strengthen those fingers, press really hard. You can make faces. Open, and then press with your index finger as hard as you can. Harder. Open, and then middle finger. Press as hard as you can. Working on this strength. And open, and then your ring finger. Isn't that funny how our face likes to participate? And then last but not least, press that pinky finger in really hard. Good. And open. I want you to slide the ball over. So now it's between your index finger and your thumb. Again, I'm just moving my hand around so you can see. It's between your index finger and your thumb. Now I'm going to slide it. I'm not using my other hand. I'm just using my thumb to slide it. Now it's between my index finger and my middle finger. See if you can do that. I'm getting some mobility here. Now, if you drop your ball, just pick it back up. I do this a lot, so I'm a little more agile here with this. Middle finger, ring finger. I love having my pinky ball in the car. And then ring finger, pinky finger. We did middle ring and then ring, pinky. And I have particularly long fingers, so it might be a little easier for me, which is why I don't have to use my thumb to hold it in place. Okay, switch, give it another squeeze and switch the ball to your other hand. Put your hand down and just do some nice, gentle, not heavy duty, just do some massaging with the ball all the way up to your wrist and all the way down your fingers. Enjoy that. I'm getting massage on both hands here, actually. All right, and then one more squeeze. Great. So we're going to move to the other hand, squeezing as hard as you can and opening and squeezing and open. And one last time, give it a good squeeze. There you go. Then we'll do one finger at a time, pressing the thumb into the ball, press hard and open wide. And then index finger, open, middle finger, and open, and ring finger. Oh, that one feels a little weak. And open, and last but not least, pinky. Press, press, press. There you go. All right, now slide the ball over. It's between your index finger and your thumb. And then between your index finger and your middle finger. And then between your middle finger and your ring finger. And last but not least, I always wonder if this is kind of exercise pickpockets too, to become more depth with their craft. Or magicians, their sleight of hand. All right. And then ring finger, pinky. Nice. Good squeeze. Switch it to the other hand. And do a little massaging all the way down the fingers. Each finger all the way up to the wrist. Oh, that feels good. And squeeze. All right, set the ball down. You're going to use it again later for your feet. And then shake your hands. Shake them like you have warm honey on them. So it's good for your lymph system. Both really good shakes. There you go. All right, clasp your hands together, bring your elbows together, and roll your wrists around and go the other direction. And keeping your hands clasped, press your palms towards me. Inhale into your upper back. And on the exhale, exhale your arms overhead. I'm going to scoot back so you can see me a little bit better here. Arms overhead. Pressing your palms to the ceiling. Press your palms up to the ceiling. Touch your thumbs together. Press your palms to the ceiling. Keep pressing your palms to the ceiling. Touch your thumbs together and pull your thumbs towards the wall behind you. That's working on a fascial line there. Press the palms to the ceiling. Touch the thumbs together. Pull the thumbs back behind you. There you go. All right. Another shake. And then last but not least, let's take the hands, make a fist, and curl your knuckles down. Big stretch across the top of your arms and up and down. You can go out to the side if you want. All right, and one more shake. Lovely. All right. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and move to the next slide. All right, so now we're moving on to the foot. And you can see the structure of the foot. We can't really see all the bones there, but there are 26 bones. You have 3 different arches to your feet. You have one that's on the inside, it's called your medial arch, one on the outside, that is your lateral arch, and then the one across the top is your transverse arch. And those arches are shaped by the bones, and they're braced or held in place by tendons and ligaments. Kind of a complicated structure. And please, please, please note that that ankle, we're not talking so much about ankles here, but the ankle mobility, when we lose ankle mobility, we lose a lot of other abilities. So it affects our gait. We're not able to kneel. So many things happen, hips, knees, low back. So we really want to keep that ankle mobility, those simple little ankle circles, little things, point and flex your toes. They might not seem like a lot, but they really keep your feet healthy. Okay, your body healthy, actually. All right, so let's move on to some of the things that can go wrong. Plantar fasciitis. A fasciitis is an inflammation. So the plantar fascia, you can see it's some connective tissue on the bottom of the foot, runs from the heel to the base of the toe. So it can occur in multiple places on your foot. And if you've ever had it, you know what I'm talking about. Sometimes it's improper footwear. Sometimes it's because we are so active with our feet. I know for me, I got my first case of plantar fasciitis when I went on a hike and I was walking here in Oregon. We have lava rocks, a lot of lava rock. And I was walking on lava rock, so it was very uneven. And I was in a sandal, but it was a heavy duty sandal. So I was kind of gripping. And I think all that tension and gripping and the unevenness, I ended up with a severe case of plantar fasciitis. So painful, like I couldn't walk for more than, maybe after, the next day I couldn't walk for maybe for a minute at the most. And then I have to stop walking. That's when I discovered the gua sha, the scraping. So again, as soon as you start to experience plantar fasciitis, try the scraping, look up gua sha, Guasha. Don't need a fancy tool. When something starts to happen in my foot, I think, oh, that's plantar fasciitis. I'll take off my shoe, grab a sharp rock, and just scrape, and it does the trick. And it seems kind of weird, but it's very effective. We're also going to do today some exercises that you can do on a daily basis if you feel like you're prone to plantar fasciitis. I want to show you a couple of exercises that will help prevent it, in addition to using your pinky ball, and also exercises that will help you recover from plantar fasciitis. Okay, let's go ahead and go forward. So Achilles tendonitis, again, another inflammation that's in the back of the heel where you can see where the inflammation is there. Often happens with runners. All right, and then moving forward.
All right, so here comes the fun part. We're going to move. We're going to do some really fun stuff with your pinky ball. I'm going to show you a couple of different movement activities. One's called sumo, another one called psoas walk. And that one's really great for gait. It also helps with those hip flexor muscles, but mostly we're focusing on the feet today. And then we'll do some things for plantar fasciitis. So I'm very excited to do this with you. Have your ball and your strap nearby. All right, and Ben's going to spotlight me. So remember I talked to you about the mobility of your ankles, how important that is. So let's just do right now a little ankle mobility here, making some circles. If you want to make it interesting, you can draw the alphabet, moving that foot around, pointing and flexing. This is pointing. This is flexing. That foot doesn't have to be high off the floor. And then push the ball of your foot forward. So yeah, and then point your toes, press the ball of your foot forward. All right, do the other side. Do some ankle rolls, both directions. Some alphabet letters, just to keep it interesting. And again, pointing and flexing. Push your heel forward, pull those toes back towards your body, and then point. There you go. Nice. Let's take that strap and do a little bit more with the strap, just because it's kind of fun. Let's place the strap underneath the ball of your foot. The ball of your foot, one strap on each hand. Sit up nice and tall. Press the ball of your foot into the strap and press your heel forward at the same time. Pressing the ball of your foot into the strap and the heel forward at the same time. There you go. And both straps go into, let's say your left foot is forward, your left hand. You bring that leg out. Just hold it out there. Keep the active stretch. Press into the strap with the ball of your foot. Press your heel. Good. Bring it across. You can bring it across your body. A little stretch here on the IT band. Keep pressing into the strap with the ball of your foot and pressing your heel forward. There you go. All right. Let's do the other side. Strap underneath the ball of the foot. You can walk your hands down the strap, sit up nice and tall. Press into the strap with the ball of your foot and at the same time press your heel forward. All right. And then bring the leg out to the side. Keep that active stretch going. And then back, across. And then back to center. You can set that strap aside. You're going to grab that pinky ball. Now, you can do this sitting or standing. It's up to you. If you don't have a pinky ball, you don't have a tennis ball, you don't have a dog toy, you have nothing that's going to work as a substitute, then you can sit and massage your foot with your thumbs. You feel really good. Get lots of pressure in there. Feels really good. Okay, work with the toes, bending the toes, stretching them back and forth. All right. So for those of you who are using the pinky ball, I'm going to do mine standing, but you're welcome to do it sitting. You can have, I asked you to have a wall nearby because you're going to use that later, but you can also hold on to the wall. You're going to work a little bit on balance. So put your pinky ball on the floor. Let's start with the left foot and just roll it around. Oh, before I do that, let's do the little pre-test, post-test. Remember, he showed us in the beginning about doing a forward fold, trying to touch our toes. So go ahead and slide your hands down your legs and stop where you start to feel resistance in your hamstrings. Just see how that feels. And then we'll do the post test. All right, so rolling the ball, you want to give a little pressure. This should not be painful. It should feel good. Go all over the foot. And then bring the ball back towards the heel. I'm turning to the side so you can see. And you can put your hands on your hips or you can move that chair around for support. And take a nice big inhale into your upper back. On the exhale, lean forward, use some pressure there. Enough pressure so that it feels good and not painful. Slide the ball forward. Nice big inhale. Exhale, leaning in. Might be more sensitive in that area. Slide the ball forward again, using that focused breath to lean in. And Takes me a little longer. I have very long feet. So maybe you are already up to the ball of your foot. But once you get to the ball of your foot, have the ball under the ball of your foot and reach those toes down. Oh, that's a big stretch. That's your transverse arch. Reach the toes down to the floor and then reach them up to the ceiling. This is when fascia gets tight. This can be really painful. If you do this enough, you're going to start to work with getting those kinks out. So it's just a curl and then up. Good. All right. And bring the ball back. So now your heel is on the floor and the ball's back by your heel, and wave your foot like you're saying hi with your foot and let it travel up. You're going across the foot. Oh, that feels good. Bring it back. Wave your foot. One more time. Waving. All right. And then you're going to look for the most cranky spot you can find. So a little extra pressure and find a cranky spot and stay right there and do a little pulsing and a little twisting and a little extra weight there. And then barely move the ball, maybe a quarter inch, because that spot is, next spot is probably very close by. Stay right there. That little bit of pulsing, twisting. And because it feels so good, let's do one more spot. Put some pressure there. Twist your foot, pulse the foot a little bit. And then let's go around the foot one more time. All right, and then stand down and just pause and notice how that foot feels. Notice the difference between the 2 feet. I notice a very big difference. All right, let's go to the other side. So maybe you move your chair to the other side so you can hold on to your chair. It's also nice to hold on to the wall or have your back to the wall. And starting with the other foot, roll the ball around all the way to the heel, all the way up to the toes. Just enjoying that feeling. And put your heel on the floor and inhale and exhale, lean in. Don't overdo it. And come back. Slide the ball up a half inch and lean into that, some extra weight. And sliding the ball up until you get to the ball under the ball of the foot. Curl the toes down. Big stretch across that transverse arch. Big stretch. Toes up. Reach them way up there and curl and reach way up. Bring the ball back to your heel and give your foot a wave. So now the ball's going across the foot and it travels up the foot. Bring it back. Let's do it 3 times. And then one more time. My heel is on the floor here, waving the foot back and forth. Now we look for that cranky spot. Up right there. Give it a little extra weight here. Some twisting, some pulsing. Now hold your breath. Breathe through your nose. Take nice long breaths. Move it just a smidge and work on that area. There you go. Oh, it feels so good. And one more spot. A little extra pressure, a little movement, some pulsing, and some twisting. And then one more time, all the way around this foot. And stand down. There you go. Notice how that feels. And then let's see how our forward fold is. Pretty good. All right. Worked pretty good there. We're going to keep going and do some more things for your ankle mobility for your feet. Remember, ankle mobility is so important. The first one is called sumo. So open your feet really wide, and you can have a chair in front of you or be close to the wall. I want you to stick your butt out behind you and come into this sumo pose. Go ahead and stick your butt out. You have this triple flexion, ankle, knees, and hips. There you go. And then just straighten your legs. And bend. Press those shins forward. That's going to give you really good ankle mobility. Knees towards your second toe. And again, nice and slow. And then just for fun, we'll work on the pelvic floor here. Lift your heel up, working on some strength, working on the feet and the pelvic floor. Lift your heel up as high as you can and slowly lower it. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And pick the other heel up really high and slowly lower. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And if you want, pick up both heels really high and slowly lower. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Press into your feet, straighten your legs, turn your toes in, and step your feet together. We're going to move into our psoas walk, and I'm going to turn to this side so you can see. This is wonderful to do for your feet, for your ankle mobility, for your gait, for your posture. Take a small step back with let's do your right foot. Small step back. Drop your heel down. All your toes should be pointing forward. So you can look down. Are they pointing forward? If they aren't, you probably took too big of a step back. So all the toes pointing straight forward. You hold on to the wall to look. There you go. All right. Hands on your hips here. Just going to take a little walk here in place. Transfer the weight from the heel to the front of the foot to come forward. Your front knee bends and come back. You can look up and see what's going on. I don't care if the back knee bends or not, but yes, your front knee will bend like you're going on a walk. And see if you can just let your head come along. So you're not leaning forward, just doing this little spring in your step. Transferring the weight from the back of the foot to the front of the foot. Front knee bends. There you go. The next time you come forward, stay forward. Stay here. Notice where your pelvis is, your hips. Keep them right here. Now reach this back heel, reach it towards the wall behind you, not to the floor, to the wall behind you. Keep reaching. Don't let the hip come back. Keep reaching that heel, keep reaching the heel, keep reaching. This is a nice big hip flexor stretch here. It's good for your fascia. Heel touches down. There you go. They're doing some really good fascial work here. Bring one arm up. Remember the fascia lines. Bring the other arm up. There you go. Look up between your hands, working on balance, little mobility in your upper back. Lift from your upper arms and drop your tailbone. You can always hold the wall with one hand. Taking some slow breath here. And then release your hands to your hips and come forward. We'll go the other direction. So opposite footsteps back. If I take a really big step, look how my toes turn out. So smaller step, heel comes down, all the toes are pointed forward. And take a little walk here. Just gliding forward. Think of a really nice, brand new remodeled kitchen and how the drawer slides in and out on the track. And the head just comes along for the ride here. And bending the front knee. You're shifting the weight from the heel to the front of the foot. Put a little spring in your step. There you go. Next time you come forward, stay forward. Your toes never leave the floor, by the way, in this activity. Just like we did before, reach that heel to the wall behind you, as if you're stretching that foot. Keep reaching the heel way, way back. Don't bring the hip back. Just the heel is stretching back and press down into the floor. Big lengthening here in the hip flexors. Relax your lower ribs. Let your tailbone be heavy. Bring one arm up and the other arm up. Front knee is bent. Look up between your hands. Lift from your upper arms. Take some slow breaths here. Hands to your hips and spring forward. There you go. All right, we're going to do a little work for your to prevent plantar fasciitis and to also help with plantar fasciitis. Come to the wall. You can lean your hips on the wall. Lift your feet up as high as you can and then down. So this activity, way high and down. You want to do 3 rounds of this and do it every day. Lift up. If you're experiencing plantar fasciitis or if you're prone to it, lift way up. So we'll just do about 6 of them, but I would ask you to do 10 to 15. Hold for a few seconds here and do 3 rounds. All right. Now we're going to do another activity. You're going to need the wall for this. You definitely have to have a wall. Move my tree out of the way for you. All right. So come to the wall. Stand, I don't know, maybe 2 inches away from the wall with let's do your right foot forward. Step back with your left foot. You can lift the heel. Your front foot is only 2 inches from the wall. Hold on to the wall. So put your hands on the wall, a little higher than your shoulders. And then touch the wall with your knee. Do not let your toes come up. Touch the wall with your knee. So if that isn't working, if you can't touch the wall, come straight forward over your second toe, then you need to be closer to the wall. Do not let your heel lift. Do not let your toes lift. That's really easy. Slide your foot back an inch and try again. Toe stay down, heel stays down, and reach that knee to the wall. Maybe you slide it back a little bit more. You'll know when you've gone too far because it's just not going to work. I'm going to stay a little closer. Same idea with this one as you did with the last one, about 15 times, 3 rounds. Let's go the other foot. Might notice a big difference. You're on the ball of your back foot, touching the knee to the wall. Oh, I have much better mobility here, which makes sense since I injured my right ankle a few years ago. So I'm going to slide back. Come straight forward. Maybe slide back again. It's quite interesting how much mobility I have on this side. All right. Okay. Let's come to standing with the feet, the ankles under your hips. So hips are here. This is where your hip sockets are. I know you think of hips here, but I want you to think of where your hip sockets are right here, where your thigh bone meets your hip socket. Have your feet right underneath there, right? Okay, imagine that your foot is like a tripod, and the first point of that tripod, 3 points, is on the ball of your foot just below the big toe. Press down there on the ball of your foot below the big toe. Second one is on the ball of your foot below the pinky toe. Press down there. And the third one is the center of your heel. So equal effort on all 3. Press down through the ball of the foot below the big toe, ball of the foot below the pinky toe, and the center of the heel. Equal weight. Arms by your side. Relax your tailbone, relax your face. Takes a bit of effort, doesn't it? And you feel how active your feet are. Be sure you're not locking your knees. There's a tiny little micro bend in your knees. Keep pressing down. Ball of the foot, big toe, ball of the foot, pinky toe, center of the heel. Oh, that's a lot of work. Tailbone heavy. Good, and release. We'll do a little posture reset here. Bring your shoulders up 2 inches, back 2 inches, and shoulder blades down your back 2 inches. I'll say that again. Shoulders up 2 inches, back 2 inches, and shoulder blades down your back 2 inches. Tailbone heavy, as if there's a string right there at the top of your head lifting you up. Then you're anchoring down, staying here with gravity. There you go. Feel that tripod of your feet again. Big toe mound, pinky toe mound, center of your heel. We're going to add something here. This is probably one of the best things I did to get out of those orthotics. So you know what an energetic movement is. It's just like you're thinking about lifting your crown of your head up towards the ceiling. That's kind of an energetic movement. Oh, I'm going to reach up. My neck's going to get longer. I want you to do that with your big toe moving forward. Just try to stretch your big toe forward. Stretch your big toe forward. Stay on the floor with your toe. Reach it forward. Now reach your pinky toe forward. Keep reaching the big toe forward. Reach your pinky toe forward. There you go. Reach back on the outer heel. Outer heel, reach it back. Both sides, reach it back. And now the inner heel, reach back, a little micro bend in the knee. Pinky toe, big toe reaching forward. Outer heel, inner heel reaching back. Another great way to activate the feet. You can watch this video again if that sounds like, what was she talking about? You can slow it down and watch again. Okay, just kind of make a note of where we are in the recording and you'll find it a lot faster. Okay. All right, so those are our standing exercises. We did a lot for plantar fasciitis, ankle mobility, got to use our pinky ball. And now we're going to move on to your foot massage, your gravity juice. So let's go back to the slides and talk a little bit about how important this is. So again, I called it gravity juice because we align with gravity. That's what keeps us here. We want to have this healthy relationship. We use gravity to support us. But we want to do this daily massage. It'll help stimulate the blood flow, helps with lymphatic drainage, which is it's fluid that moves impurities out of your body. It can help relieve pain associated with edema, with plantar fasciitis. I just think it's a wonderful thing to do. And we have time. I'm hoping to go ahead and show you that gua sha as well. All right, I think we might have time for that. So gravity juice, if you can have some, I like sesame oil, but massage oil is good, and a towel. And you want to make sure that you're comfortable. So I'm going to use my bouncy ball here. And I'm going to put my foot up here on the bouncy ball. Make sure that you guys can see me here. But you're going to figure out how to make yourself really comfortable so that you can do your foot massage. So again, having a towel is very handy. Get a little bit of oil into your hand and make sure your cap is closed, no accidents with it, no messes. And you're going to massage your foot. And what's really helpful here is to really use those strong hands, those strong thumbs, pressing your thumbs into the sole of your foot. So both, I think it might be better if I'm here. Push both thumbs into, Ben, can you spotlight me? There you go. Pressing your thumbs into the sole of your foot, reaching from your heel up, all the way up to your toes, massaging each toe, really working with each toe, big toe, second toe. I would normally take 15, 20 minutes doing this. We're not going to do that today, but I'm going to show you how to give yourself a good foot massage, each toe. And making sure you're in a comfortable position. Get your fingers between your toes, move them back and forth. And again, really working. Remember, we have that medial arch, lateral arch. We'll get to the top of the foot, working with the heel, working around the ankle. You can even feel that kind of like crackling. Press hard in different places if you want. So I want you to work with the top of your foot. We're going to clean out the gutters here. You're going to go, there's a membrane between the toes that goes up to the ankle. So just find that little divot there, and you're going to run your finger up and go to the next, between the second toe and third toe, and feel that little divot there, that little membrane, and just, you want to go towards your ankle. And then go over third toe, fourth toe, and then the pinky toe. It's like cleaning out the gutters. You can do them all at the same time even. But I also want you to get up to this place. It's called the interosseous membrane. It's between the tibia, this big shin bone. And you can't really feel the fibula, but it's there. But there's a membrane right there. So if you go off to the side there, you'll feel it, have it dips down. Massage that area there. You guys are going to be ready to walk a marathon here. All right. Okay. So I'm gonna wipe this foot off. I have quite a bit of oil in there. We'll do the other side. I'm switching to the other side. And it can be tricky to get in this position. So maybe you have a footstool, maybe you have something, some kind of a tray or table out in front of you so that you're in a comfortable position here. Getting a little bit of oil. And actually, I like a lot of oil. You can put some essential oils in there if you want. Using your thumbs. If you don't have any oil, use some lotion. Really use those thumbs to work into that medial arch. Start from the heel and go all the way up. Get to the ball of the foot. Do each toe. There you go. Each toe. You can even do, I didn't do this on the foot, but you can do a little, that in square dancing, you do do-si-do, we call it toe-si-toe. Just crisscross the toes back and forth. But really good mobility in all these joints, crisscrossing the toes. Bend the toes in. You can reach your fingers between the toes. Bend the toes back. Good. All right, so let's work on that space between the toes. So that space between the toes, I'm gonna be sure I can show you. It's right here, space between the toes. You're just running your finger in that little divot. Just keep going. Big toe, second toe, third toe. And then, of course, that interosseous membrane off the side of the tibia. And just go one direction, the way your lymph flows. There you go. All right. So you want to clean that up. It should feel pretty good. Okay, we can go back to the slideshow now, Ben. Okay. So basic foot care, very, very, very important. Might be common sense. Maybe it's something you've heard, maybe something you're not familiar with about how to take care of your feet, not just having the right shoes. Keeping those toenails trimmed properly, knowing how to do that, changing your socks, taking care of any kinds of infection or sores. Yeah. If you decide to do it in a nail salon, make sure it's one that you trust. Okay. Go to the next slide here. Keeping your feet strong and healthy. So before you go for a walk, do some of those exercises that we did. Get your pinky ball out. It's good to do before you go for your walk. Do your plantar fasciitis exercises. Be sure that you have really good shoes. Shoes, I like the two that I like. Lems is one, Lems, Lems, and it's because it has a wider toe box. My physical therapist recommended Lems, and they come in not just athletic shoes, but all kinds of shoes. So you might want to check those out. I don't get any any discounts for mentioning them. The other one is Ultra, A-L-T-R-A, and those are athletic shoes, Ultra. They're the only ones I wear because they're the Ultras, A-L-T-R-A. A-L-T-R-A. All right, so again, you can see using the foot massage, the gravity juice, and always checking in with a physician if you think, the podiatrist, if you think there's something going on. Don't wait. Do not wait. If you've got pain in your toe, it could be as simple as an ingrown toenail, but have a professional take care of that for you. You don't have to suffer. Okay. Oh, another exercise you can do is the washcloth scrunch. So you just put the washcloth down, and you try to scrunch it with your toes, try to pick it up. You can do it with other, you could do it with something else too, I guess, but
but using that washcloth or some type of fabric to scrunch, using your pinky ball, of course, and doing your plantar fasciitis exercises. Okay. And anything for ankle mobility. Might seem, really simple, but a lot of bang for your buck in taking care of your ankles. Okay, we're going to go to the next slide. So, in review, having happy hands and happy feet does take some time and attention, but it's kind of nice with the pinky ball. You can do it while you're a passenger in the car. You can even do it with the hands when you're in the car. You can drive one-handed. You can do it while you're watching TV, and it doesn't take a lot to go a long way. But keep your pinky ball handy, and don't forget about massaging your hands and feet. All right, we'll move forward here. I am so grateful that you show up for these. It's so fun for me to think that you have happy hands and happy feet and that you're discovering something that makes you feel better. If you have a question or a comment or a concern, you can email me. I did not show you gua sha. Let me see if I have something. Well, I don't have the right tool, but I'll show you. If I had the gua sha is the scraping, and it's just simply, I like doing it with a spoon, a wooden spoon. And it's simply just scraping up my foot like this. A little bit of pressure doesn't hurt. Some people say it tickles. And this can be an amazing, amazing miracle treatment if you get plantar fasciitis, especially if you do it right away. Okay, so that's all it is. You don't have to get a fancy tool, a wooden spoon that has a little edge to it, and this is gua sha or scraping. Okay. It's kind of interesting if you look into it. People just scraping all over their bodies, but okay. All right, so that is our webinar for today. I'm really hoping you have happy hands and happy feet, and I look forward to seeing you again for the next webinar. And until then, be well.